Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone's day going? I am Evil Megan 77. Yeah, I know I haven't really made any videos in a while, in like 11 days, but here I am right now, and I am great. Anyways, today, lately, this month or couple, I don't know, but lately, apparently, there's like a problem in like the YouTube community right now. Definitely with some of the YouTubers, and definitely with everything else in the YouTube community. Apparently, if you guys do not know what Game Off is, it's like a tournament where a bunch of YouTubers like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and all that. So they play a bunch of games, and then so they decided to do a thing called do not get age restricted. Oh, today I cannot talk. So yeah, apparently that happened, and we're gonna watch it whenever because Jacksepticeye was talking about it, so we'll be watching it on him, and he made a video about the problem with the YouTube community with the do not get age restricted and all that. So we will be listening to that. Do not worry. So yeah. By the way, most of the video is pretty long, like for Jacksepticeye's thing, because he actually did say a lot of things that I think is pretty good. Well, yeah. I will show you guys it, by the way. I also got a new recording app, so yeah.
And I will say, since that video went up, okay, I'll give context on the video because I did in the last one, but in case you don't know, I recorded the eye tracker video, obviously with the intent of kind of like pushing the boundaries of what the system was going to allow. That wasn't the whole point of the video in the first place. I just wanted to see what I could do and then make it a fun video and kind of like react to the salacious stuff in it and make it entertaining that way. But we had to censor it so much because it kept coming back saying that it was flagged and it was not suitable for advertisers. And I was like, you know what, that's absolutely fair. There's a lot of like nudity in it. I had to censor a lot of it. A lot of it is still implied. So there was a lot of stuff in it that I knew. I was even like willing to bite the bullet on it and say, okay, maybe we'll just upload this video and not have it be monetizable, and it'll just be a fun video that people can watch. But we kept trying anyway, and then one day Trey was working on an edit of it to try and get some more censors in it to see what we could get away with, and I was just like, you know what, let me appeal this one first. And then when I appealed it, 2 days went by and it came back and it said it was manually reviewed and that it was given the green light. So it got the green icon instead of the yellow one, meaning it was suitable for advertisers. And I thought, okay, great. It seems like the system itself auto-flagged some stuff and triggered the yellow icon, and then someone manually reviewed it, supposedly a human at YouTube, and were like, yeah, there's enough censors in this, you can get away with it. And then it was greenlit. And then I uploaded the video and called it the Try Not to Get Age Restricted challenge. Since then, it hasn't been age restricted, but it did get flagged again, which is part of the problem that I said, and I knew uploading it that was a potential that was going to happen, and that was a reason kind of why I uploaded it again anyway after that appeal and didn't try and censor it any further, because I was like, let's just see if my theory holds water that it can get greenlit by someone at YouTube and then it can get flagged again later. And I brought this up to my rep yesterday because that inconsistency and saying like, well, it said someone reviewed it and now it's saying that someone manually reviewed it again and it wasn't deemed viable for YouTube. And I was like, why is that a thing? And obviously, he doesn't have all the answers either. And again, I absolutely love my YouTube rep. He's always fighting in our corner and trying his best for the creators. So I don't want anybody out there at YouTube to ever like get mad at him. But some of the stuff obviously can't be told to me because you can't give over the keys to the kingdom. They also don't know 100% how the algorithm works and what it's chasing and everything. And it's probably good that people don't know that, because then you can just game the system way too easily, and that brings up a whole mess of problems as well. And I think what's happening...
Okay, I really do understand that. Which I actually understand, because some of my videos when I make it, they're usually, pretty risky to actually post nowadays, because whenever you post something nowadays, it's going to be pretty risky now. And two, like the music on all of my videos are usually copyrighted. So of course I gotta delete that. So of course I did not want to get copyright strain or nothing. Not too risky because most of my music is copyrighted.
Brings up a whole mess of problems as well. And I think what's happening, which I mentioned in the last video, is that users flagging videos is it can be abused really easily. I said it before that the Corridor Digital channel got hacked, and then they got mass reported for being hacked because the audience wanted YouTube to know, hey, it's hacked, can you give it back to them? But what ends up happening then is that the system is like, oh, it's mass reported, something's going on, removes the whole channel. And I wondered how abusive that could be. And another good example of this is that Evelyn uploaded the mortuary assistant. It got flagged for the self-harm sort of themes that were in it, as did I. But after that, I think because users were flagging videos a lot, she started getting emails from YouTube being like, are you okay? Are you self-harming? Are you suicidal? Things like that. So it's hard to know exactly what's going on behind the scenes and why these things are happening. But what I'm trying to boil this down to, sorry, I'm getting so rambly. My thoughts are everywhere. What I'm trying to boil this down to is that I don't like that I can upload something, it gets yellow flagged. That was totally fine. That was fair. I understood that. Then it gets greenlit by somebody at YouTube after I appealed it. And I'm like, oh, somebody manually reviewed it. Great. That means that it's safe now. And then I upload it and then it gets flagged again. So either people reported the video and then it brought up attention and then YouTube went in and manually reviewed it again. And someone with stricter protocols came in and said, actually, that's not necessary, which means two people in that department, if it was two separate people, didn't talk to each other, or it was the same person again and they got flack for users flagging it. And then they were like, oh crap, I need to actually flag this again. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's a whole mess of like hierarchy and communication and everything going on in that chain of command that just doesn't make any sense. And it seems like that's the problem at YouTube in general, is that the policy team don't talk to the marketing team, don't talk to the reps. Like there's so many different departments going on because it's a massive machine of a industry that they're doing. And I get that as well, but there needs to be more communication on their end. So then we get better communication. If at the source you're not talking to each other, how the hell are we supposed to know what the hell is going on? Another example of this,
So yeah, I kind of get, bitch, someone's mowing the lawn while I'm trying to make the video. Damn it! But yes, every time whenever that happens. No, but whenever you make a video and you actually have that problem, you gotta know, like they gotta know and you gotta know.
How the hell are we supposed to know what the hell is going on? Another example of this, and Mark, I'm so sorry I keep bringing you into this, but something else happened with him recently that they had the Game On event that we were all part of. And I did like a Minecraft section. Mark did his own like analog horror thing that he wanted to put in. And it was like a live stream that people could vote on decisions. And it was like pre-recorded, but you could effectively like pick the options of where it was going to go. And we recorded like a whole bunch of different versions of it. To make it a more interactive live stream. And it was fun. It could use some work. It wasn't perfect, but for what it was pretty fun. But they marketed it as having Mark in it. When I was in LA, I was talking to Mark about his idea and what he was doing, and he was working on it while I was there. And it sounded really cool. And then the thing came out, Mark tweeted that, oh, watch Game On because I'm in it. YouTube reacted to that and were like, yeah, everyone go watch the stream, and linked to it. And then his section came up. There was a minute-long section of him doing an intermission, and then the rest of it got removed. He had a whole thing planned that all got removed from the stream, and he didn't know about it until the stream was over. And then he was tweeting about it, being like, wait, did they cut my section? And I mean, I don't know the exact specifics of why it was cut. A lot of people think it was cut because he did the age-restricted challenge video that day, and then that night they cut the content. That's not true. They didn't cut it because of that. I've worked with YouTube for a long time. They do not work that fast. And I asked Mark about it, and he said that they cut it for time or something like that. I don't know. That's his thing to discuss. All I know is that it wasn't cut for the sake of him saying something against them. I mean, I criticized him in a video before that as well, and did an age-restricted challenge video. They should have cut my section then as well. Like, I know I was in it with a whole bunch of other people, but that theory just doesn't make any sense, and all it did was rile people up and make them even angrier at YouTube for saying they were censoring him. And I feel like that kind of mentality is dragging us away from the main issues that Corey or I or Charlie or anybody else was bringing up during this. And I want to give actual genuine feedback and criticism and possible solutions to things instead of just getting mad and yelling at people and being like, no, YouTube suck. Because, I mean, they don't want their creators to fail, surprisingly.
You do not want to be like cranky and then just turn into an absolute prick and then just say that you wanted something. Because that's usually not how that works. You do not want to be a huge prick and then do something terrible and then ask for something, because that's not gonna work like that. You gotta like work together and actually like not be a total prick about it. No, but seriously though, yeah, but still though, YouTube does not really want us to like fail. Like surprisingly, like all of that. Like I like making videos. I like making videos for you guys to actually be entertained, like the gaming and all that, and my voice and all that,
People and being like, no, YouTube suck. Because, I mean, they don't want their creators to fail, surprisingly, despite what people may think. They actually want the platform to succeed and for us to earn a living on it and for our videos to do well. It's just a big system that people aren't talking to each other. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because I feel like the people who replied to Mark on Twitter didn't know his section was cut, as well as Mark didn't. And I feel like the people who are marketing the entire event and using him in the articles and using him in like the video, the trailer that they put up and like using his face everywhere, I don't think they knew that he was cut either. He still had a very tiny section in it, but his main section was completely cut out of it. And I think that boils down to a lot of departments not talking to each other either, which just sucks, because what are we supposed to do if YouTube don't know what they're doing either? And that's why I'm trying to talk about it, to just kind of like shine a light on it, to be like, hey, you guys need to be better so we can do what we do and not be left up to a system that is so inconsistent, so unknowable, and so just out of our control that it just makes us not want to upload content or be very, very scared about the types of things that we can upload, because everything is so vague. I don't have all the answers either. For some people, this will just sound like complaining, but I genuinely just want to see change happen on the platform where everybody is treated fairly, where some people, like Mark and I's videos, didn't get age restricted, but Ethan uploaded a video about his 10-year anniversary and that got age restricted. I don't exactly know what content was in that, and I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it yet, but I'm assuming there's probably not a whole lot in it that should be age restricted. So it just feels like some people get treated differently than others, which of course shouldn't be a thing. We should all be treated fairly across the entire platform, because otherwise, what does it look like? I've done stuff with YouTube in the past. I'm a huge YouTuber. If I get treated more fairly than some other people, makes everybody look bad. It's just makes the system seem completely unfair, and I don't want that either. I feel like some solutions to this could be, originally when we had the copyright system and we would get claimed for a song or something was in a clip or whatever, normally it used to just say this video was claimed by blah blah blah, and that was it. It was just a blanket thing across the entire video. People complained a lot about it. People gave feedback to YouTube about it. Now most times you get copyright claimed, it has to tell you the specific section that is claimed.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably, there's like more of the video, like his video into here, which is pretty good. Like, I'm gonna say it, it's the truth, like all that. He's telling like the truth and all that. But still though, no one really wants to be treated like they're like that TikTok sibling episodes, all of that. But no, people actually do want to be treated equally into their videos, because surprisingly, YouTube actually does want you to succeed. But still though, all you need to do is just talk normally, that's all.
Specific section that is claimed. And that's great, because now as a YouTuber, I can go into the YouTube editor, which is like after the video is uploaded, there's an editor on YouTube that I can go into and trim out a section of the video. It takes a couple of hours to process, and then suddenly the copyright claim gets removed. That clip is gone. The video might be a little wonky because it's not in the original edit and it's not extensive editing tools. But now at least we have an ability to chop that section out. Our video is fine, goes out to everybody, perfectly monetizable again. And there are other sections of YouTube now with like, I thought I saw at one point that I got balanced ads on something. So I didn't get fully ad restricted. I got claimed for something and it got ad balanced or something. I can't remember the terminology for it. And it meant that I still got to earn a portion of the video while the other person got, or somebody else got to earn a portion, or it wasn't fully demonetized. That's also a step in the right direction, where everything isn't just carpet bombed right out the gate. And I think for any content that's age restricted or ad restricted, we also need those systems in place where we should be allowed to know exactly what is getting restricted. If I get ad restricted for something, it should tell me the section that's getting restricted. For the mortuary assistant, it was obvious because it said it was for self-harm. There was an obvious section in that game that showed that, so I didn't have to guess. I can edit that out if I want. I don't know if the ad restriction or age restriction goes away. I don't know how that works, which again is a problem. But also, I feel like if we get age restricted or ad restricted or something gets flagged in that video, it should be told to us what it is, like the copyright system. So we can know what to trim out, what to fix. We can start getting better about knowing exactly what YouTube don't like. And I feel like also if users are going to flag videos, they should also have to say, especially for the more serious ones, like if there's hate speech or if there's self-harm or suicidal themes in it, I feel like for sections like that, like the mortuary assistant, I feel like the users should also have to say a timestamp for where that stuff is. Now, maybe there's reasons for not doing that I don't know because I don't run the company and I don't know I don't know how any of this stuff could sort of backfire potentially. But I feel like that's a step in the right direction as well. Just clarity and communication across all systems are what we need and what YouTube need. And then everybody just kind of knows where we stand and we can move on and do content a bit more accurately and a bit more fairly. But
Yeah, surprisingly, YouTube does not really want us to fail, really. Surprisingly, though. But sometimes, like, okay, I really just gonna say this. YouTube does make some mistakes sometimes, and it does, like, get weird once in a while. And there's usually are some dark stuff around it, which I do not want to say. YouTube, like, I like making videos for you guys. It is fun, but sometimes there's usually some mistakes around it, and sometimes whenever you make videos, there's gonna be some mistakes into those videos, and there's gonna be some mistakes in the community and even the settings and all that, including like the editing, because that usually happens sometimes. You cannot really just yell at the editor in the YouTube guy to tell them to do that. You can't just immediately yell at them and then think you're gonna get it. Magically, you ain't gonna get it. You gotta work together, talk to them, and that's all you gotta do. That's all we need to do.
A bit more fairly. But right now we're in this sort of nebulous space where we don't know. Some people on YouTube obviously know the systems better than I would because I don't get into the weeds of it. But it's just really confusing. There's too much in it that just I don't get. And I feel like that stuff needs to change. And again, I want to make these videos to kind of pioneer some change and actually give feedback and some potential solutions to things. And that's what I hope everybody wants to do. Instead of just yelling at the problem and telling YouTube they suck and bring back the dislikes and that kind of thing. Because that's not helping anything. That's not how change gets made.
Anyways, yes, he did say a bunch of things that are basically true. By the way, Jacksepticeye's thing will be in the subscription. Oh my god, I cannot talk. No, but we actually do need to work together, including us YouTubers, the YouTube community, the editors, and all of that. Need to work together onto this YouTube thing, because you can't just immediately just force them to do something if you don't even know, or they do not even know. Because surprisingly, some people like the YouTube does not even know sometimes. Sometimes not all people that created something, they're not always that smart, really. They're not that smart, but they are smart at things that they do know how to do. YouTube, humanity, YouTube, and all that. We all have something that we're good at, and then there's always some things that we're not also good at. It's just human life. We all got that. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go. Peace.